You're listening to the Let's Talk Marketing podcast, hosted by me, Katya Allison. It is going to be a good time. We are going to have a great conversation. And you know what? There's going to be a little bit of learning along the way. And we're going to do this through insightful interviews with top marketers, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders in the space. And by doing this, I get to explore the latest trends, techniques, and strategies in this world of marketing. I'm here to offer you engaging and informative discussions to help you stay up to date on the latest trends and take your marketing skills to the next level. Now, today I'm chatting with Dasha, influencer marketing and product director of HypeFactory, for an illuminating discussion on the intricacies of influencer marketing. With over 7 years of experience crafting unique campaigns for the gaming and entertainment industry, she brings a wealth of expertise and firsthand insights to this table. Now, in this episode, we dive into this dynamic world of influencer marketing by exploring Dasha's career, her industry dynamics, and strategies for launching products internationally using influencers. Now, we uncover key insights and strategies on effective influencer marketing when going international, from the importance of personalized communication with influencers to kind of the nuances of launching products in diverse cultural landscapes. This episode is going to promise to give you a masterclass in influencer marketing strategy and execution for that. We also explore topics like the creative nature of influencer marketing, the importance of measuring campaign performance, and the delicate balance of work and rest. So let's get ready for it. Let's talk marketing. Dasha, welcome to the Let's Talk Marketing podcast. I'm really excited to have you on here to talk a little bit of influencer marketing. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation. Yeah.
Of course. Well, I love talking about influencer marketing, and I think the angle that we're going to take it today is going to be really interesting for our listeners as well. But before we dive into it, let's have the audience get to know you a little bit. I always have my get to know you questions. So I'd love to hear from you. What is the first marketing role that you've ever had, or what you would consider a marketing role?
Well, I started working in marketing, I guess, a bit more than 7 years ago. So quite long time ago. And I started as an influencer marketing manager. So that was my first role, just manager or seeking for influencers for this event campaign and launching the campaigns, analyzing the results. It was quite small, not a small. It was a startup, like marketing startup. But then actually, there were lots and lots of possibilities and opportunities to grow. And from influencer marketing manager, I grew into team lead with my personal team. I started to teach somehow, to share my experience with. And right now, since 7 years, I am influencer marketing product director at HypeFactory already. We have quite a big team right now, production team. We do specialize in influencer marketing, just influencer marketing. So we work with influencers and we promote different kinds of products from gaming, entertainment industry with the help of influencers all around the world.
Excellent. So it sounds like you've just been in influencer marketing. I shouldn't say just been. Your expertise really is in influencer marketing. I think especially over the last 7 years, I'm going to be really interested in just hearing your perspective of how it's changed as well. Of what you're currently doing now, you said you're and forgive me, you're specifically in the product department, correct?
Influencer marketing product director. Yeah, I am kind of supervising influencer marketing campaigns. Plus, product director means that I'm kind of responsible for developing our agency product. There is agency product for internal usage where there is the discovery for influencers. So it's kind of like IT product. There is discovery, campaign management, campaign analysis, payout system, mailers, all these legal stuff, contracts, etc. So it's kind of development of this product inside which we, as an agency, work.
Now, what is it that you love about what you currently do? I also want to know what you don't like, but let's start with what do you love about what you're currently doing right now?
Well, currently, what I always loved about influencer marketing is that is that it is kind of very creative.
Yeah.
Kind of marketing, because there is no one the same influence. So they are all different. There is no one the same piece of content. So everything is super unique. And yeah, I just like its creativity. I like its dynamics, because it's a very dynamic industry. It's always evolving, always changing. And you need to keep pace. You need to be always ahead, because there are lots of agencies and lots of competitors, and you need to stand out. So actually, I love this challenges, maybe, let's say challenges and competitiveness, because as I said before, you need to stand out. You need to learn all the time, and to all the time, I don't know, find out some new things, new platforms, new formats, everything that, I don't know, some kind of local markets can offer, because we do work in different markets, and there is no, same rules for working everywhere. So I just like its diversity. It's really interesting, and plus, as my position was evolving, and I was becoming from a new marketing manager to team lead, and then to head of performance, and then director. Obviously, the number and the volume of my responsibility grew. And actually, I enjoy working with the teams, with my team. I do love share my experience with them. I love this kind of mentoring thing, because right now I'm more like a mentor. And I just like to see them grow. I just like to see them getting their promotions, etc. Their personal development, development in the career. So it's kind of very satisfying when you see how your team evolving as well together with you.
I love that. So it sounds like it's twofold of what it is that you love. One, it's very obvious that you love the industry that you're in, right? You're right. Everything is evolving. It's changing and keeping up with the trends. Never a bored moment, I think, in the influencer marketing space. But I also love to hear that what you love is the leadership part of it, because I do think a lot of times people miss out on that, and it's not for everybody. But I love that you enjoy seeing your team's accomplishments, right? And I think when your team wins, you win. And that's amazing. I love that you love that. Now, not everything's perfect though. So if there was anything that I can take out of your job, what would that be? What do you not like?
Right now, I think I love almost everything. Maybe before, I should admit that it's kind of energy and time consuming job. You always, when I was not that good at time management, for example, I turned out to work 24/7. Sometimes, we do have time difference with some countries, and when you communicate with influencers, with some clients, definitely there is time difference, and you need to be on night, for example. So it's kind of, sometimes it can be quite difficult, just and really tiresome. So it's very important to the rest is as necessary as the work itself, because without the rest, really good quality, you can be productive, and it directly affects your productiveness. So and performance as well. So I'm happy that I've learned how to rest And that I really need some, efficient time of rest because, holidays, days off, it's very important. And I do try to tell it to my team as well, because eventually you will just, the burnout will come suddenly, unexpectedly, and it would just be not okay. And if you want to thrive, if you want to develop, you need to, you need to rest. Before, maybe I tended to work really a lot. That was a bit beyond my capacity, physical and emotional capacity. And now I think I found the balance, and as I said, I I try to ask and insist that my team, they never forget about this kind of balance they need to adhere to, because it's really important for their performance and effectiveness. So yeah, that's as I said, dynamic industry, and you need to be you need to be working quite a lot, because campaign launches, they tend to be at the weekends. Because at the weekends, I don't know, people watch YouTube more, or scroll their feed on Instagram or TikTok, etc. So obviously, if you worked during the weekend, okay, you can have your day off within a week, because you need to have this day off. Or, for example, as I said, working with, for example, US market, you need to be awake, to stay awake, and to control some of the releases during the night. So you need to have the break, and after during the daytime. So that's really important. And this is, I think, the main challenge, because this is not something, the work from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. and then you're free like that. No, you should always be, near your phone, near your laptop, just
I think that the nature of the industry is one, especially because it's on social. It's 24/7. It's not like that Monday through Friday. And, so it sounds like what you would pluck out are the long hours. But luckily, because that's kind of the thing that you would remove from your job is those long hours, there's a solution for that. And you hit the nail on the head. It really is all about work-life balance, especially in this industry, because there is like your physical health and not being overworked, but I would imagine also your mental health as well, as you're on social platforms all the time, which is a great segue for the social platform question that I have for you, right? You're on social media networks. Which ones do you go to for inspiration, entertainment, and education for yourself personally?
Well, actually, I do use YouTube mostly. I love this platform, and I like it for educational aims. I follow some influencers whom I find really inspiring as well, and I use it for inspiration as well. I don't know, there is some, self-soothing and calming vlogs that I like to watch after my working day, or for example the weekend. And it's really some videos are really inspiring, because I do love this slow content, very relaxing, because sometimes scrolling my feed on Instagram or TikTok, it doesn't calm me down. It's just that makes me more excited. So it kind of and now, so I do use TikTok for entertainment, as well as I think all of us, because it's just, it has everything. TikTok, and obviously I love those entertaining videos there. But again, it's I think YouTube is still number one platform to me, just because I enjoy a little bit slower pace that it has, because TikTok has very, very, fast pace. And for example, if I had some, obviously when I have resource, when I, want to get, excited or whatever, I go to TikTok. There are lots and lots of, again, not just entertaining information, but educational information. For example, if I want to go somewhere or travel somewhere, I just, I don't know, pray, just, I don't know, just write, for example, Italy, best places, and voila, there are lots and lots of recommendations on TikTok that I can save and use. So it's also very, um, a great platform to be educated, to find useful information that you're kind of looking. So yeah, to sum everything up, YouTube is still my number one platform, but I do love Instagram as well and TikTok as well. I'm not that great fan of Twitch. I mean, I don't know why.
Well, interesting. Yeah. Well, Twitch is so specific, right? Like the people who are on Twitch, I always feel like it's great from a gaming standpoint. So if you're in the business of gaming, I think that's, especially in influencer marketing, that's where you're looking for influencers is on Twitch, because it's much more of like the live feed, the gaming, the like, watch the very long videos. I will say though, what's interesting about Twitch is because they tend to be live feeds and gamers, and they're longer feeds and people are watching people watching. That to me, the people, like the engagement level, the relationship, the community is really deep in Twitch. But I'm right there with you. Outside of social media networks, how else do you stay up to date on trends? Are there newsletters that you follow, a podcast, a YouTube influencer that you're like, hey, this is how I stay up to date on trends?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think that I use lots of different sources to get information to be um, updated. I mean, I read a lot about new trends. Obviously, from social media, I get a lot. I read a lot and follow like latest industry news from newsletters. Obviously, LinkedIn is the place where I can find almost anything about latest industry news. And I do love reading on LinkedIn um, about other agencies' experiences or like some brands' experiences, because they like everyone is quite open nowadays, and yeah, they do share um, a lot of what they do with influencer marketing. They share their I don't know, some successful collaborations, what they have tested, etc. So it's really nice to I do love to spend my time there while analyzing what other people do. I mean, in the industry, because it's also a very nice source of getting useful information, and maybe then you understand, okay, maybe we can try something similar, or maybe, okay, we shouldn't go there. That was bad experience maybe for them, and we shouldn't, do that as well. So, yeah, I mean, and plus at HypeFactory, we do have a department, kind of special department, which is called Client Excellence. And the girls there, they do a splendid job on doing some market analysis and researches. And they always share with us, with the team, everything that's going on. I mean, new on in the market, and some local markets, for example. Yeah. I know what's happening with Korea. There were some registrations with Twitch, and we were looking for some other streaming platforms that can substitute Twitch. And yeah, obviously the girls and these departments, they do help us with analyzing and with research. So yeah, everything is good. I mean, all the sources are great. Just be open to absorb all this information, because anything can be useful.
I love that. Well, let's dive into influencer marketing and, launching products internationally. I think it's a real challenge to say that you're a global brand. And then another challenge if you're going to leverage influencers and or creators to be able to launch your products internationally. What is the approach that either you or your team takes to building those strong relationships with influencers from different cultural backgrounds, right? And I don't know if we can center our conversation maybe just around one region or if it's the same globally, right? If I want to be able to launch into, into Europe, for example, there's multiple languages in there. So how do you approach building those strong relationships?
Mhm. Well, as I said, we have quite a big team, and we have lots of managers who speak absolutely different languages, and it's obviously quite important to communicate with the influencers in their local language. We reach out to them in their local languages. We obviously have personalized letters with the name of the influencer, because there's not some um automatic soulless mailer. Obviously, it's better. We would try and we do our best to make it as personalized as possible. Obviously, we do analyze the content of each influencer before reaching out. We highlight some strong sides of the content of the channel. We do explain why this or that product would be a great fit for the content. So actually, while reaching out and communicating with influencers, I can't say that there's some, specific and definite differences from this and that region. Obviously, all the influencers, they seek for respectful and professional communication, and we do support it with all the influencers whenever they are, no matter in what part of the world they are. But still, yeah, we just always for transparent communication. We always transparently tell them and communicate over some regarding campaign expectations, guidelines. Uh, we do take into account their own opinion, the brief, for example, if they do not like something or if they want to alter something. We super support their personal vision, because, as I said, influencer marketing is all about the uniqueness. It's not, um, it's not good to have all the influencers to do one and the same thing, in which they can lose their authenticity and uniqueness.
So it sounds like the approach that you take is ensuring that you have one, someone who can speak the language of, that particular influencer. And then two, being very transparent with the communication and the expectations of those campaigns. And part of also that transparency is being open to the feedback from that influencer in whatever country that they're in. Is that accurate?
Of course, definitely.
How then would, or not how, I guess I'm wondering if I'm a brand and I know that I want to go into Germany, for example. I don't speak German. I know that's a real shocker. I don't speak German. I do want to engage with someone locally that can not just speak the language, but also understand the cultural differences. Because to me, that's also the thing that I notice as well too. It's not just language, it's culture. And so, me sitting here in California, I can put together a campaign thinking, okay, this is what I want to say. So, like, but it can miss the mark in that region. So, like, kind of what do you do? Do you guys do, or would you advise people doing research on the specific culture of the area that you do want to launch in before you even engage with the influencer? So you're taking that into account when you're building out the campaign, or what advice do you have for understanding the cultural differences beyond just language?
Yeah, sure. We definitely do the research, and obviously, we first we need to understand actually the goal of the client. Yeah, when our client, the brand, what is the goal then of the campaign? Whether it's brand awareness, or maybe it depends on the product, or some CPI, low CPI, or as many installs as possible, or positive ROI, etc. Then we definitely analyze the markets.
Yeah.
We should identify and know the target audience that this or that product has, obviously. Then we should take into account, the goal, and then we understand, okay, where, on what platform we can achieve those goals with what kind of formats. And then we see, okay, for example, Germany, we see what is popular there, I don't know, what influences are there, what kind of categories are there, like most widespread categories, what platform do they mostly use? And then obviously based on all these research, on this very, very thorough research, we do come to the client with some, conclusion and some recommendations. Plus, obviously, as I said before, besides speaking the same language with the influencer, obviously all the materials should be localized and adapted definitely, because it's vitally important. Because while customizing these materials, in that case, we can resonate with local audiences. We'll increase the likeliness and, we'll increase the audience acceptance. So everything should be localized. The video assets, everything. It concerns each geo, even some regions like Japan, etc. So, and plus, as I said, sometimes it's really important to leave some, personal freedom and creative freedom. Yes. Because obviously each influencer, he knows much more than we do, than the brand do, what his audience would like, in what way his audience would accept, or kind of, accept the promo, the ad in a better way. So obviously we advise to the client, to the brand, to be more open to what influencer himself suggests, because sometimes they really know better. And sometimes when we do listen to them, to the creators, to the influencers, the results are much better. Because they ask us, okay, trust us, trust me. Yeah. I know that in that way, the promo will be met in a more bad and positive way than if I just, do everything according to the script that, for example, brand has written, or we have written as an agency. So yeah, we need just to trust the influencers, because they really sometimes know better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that we really wanted to also focus on product launches internationally. So what is your advice if I want to, and we'll just keep this example, right? I'm a direct to consumer brand. And, I have maybe just a product. I don't know. Let's say I have a lip gloss. I'm a direct to consumer brand. I've got lip gloss that I'm selling, or maybe we'll just go with that. I'm direct to consumer. I'm selling lip gloss. I know that I want to go into Germany. Obviously, we've considered the language. We've looked at just kind of the cultural differences. What is your advice on how many influencers for a product launch I should activate within a region to really just kind of make an impact? And my goal is launching a product. So I want eyes. I want eyes on my product. I want to drive traffic to my website. How many influencers should I activate?
Well, everything actually depends on the budgets that that client has. But definitely, before going to some new market, we as an agency and or the client themselves, we need to do some, market research. We need to have a look what competitors do. What are the competitors, the main competitors on the market, with what kind of influencers they work. We need to find, our own influencers that are going to be a nice and great representative and ambassador of the product. Obviously, also before stepping to new markets, it's definitely important to know the pricing of the region, because if some client of ours is without any experience and you just come to the influencer and sometimes they can, aim some random rate out of nowhere. And it's really important to know that CPMs differ from region to region, and you need to be aware of the kind of normal and general CPM that this region has, so that you didn't overpay, because if you overpay, your results will be way worse than they can be. So you need to be within the benchmarks, so that your campaign eventually was profitable at the end. And you could get, for example, if we're talking about lip gloss, so that you were able to get as many impressions and as many leads on the website for lower price as possible. Because if you're overpaying, if you're not counting your money, then obviously it's not a good marketing. Yeah, and definitely, obviously, the key point is influencer selection, because with the help of our instrument discovery, we can definitely find the best influencers that can fit to this or that campaign, because we do analyze lots and lots of metrics. We do analyze, obviously, demographics, because we need to have as much target audience as possible. The influencer should have as much target audience as possible, because again, we are paying for this audience. We should definitely pay attention at the real and quality audience, because there's some can be bots, etc., etc. So the more quality audience, the better, always. The higher engagement rate, the better. Obviously, we need to have very live account creator with a very active audience, with that with positive comments about the content, because if the audience loves the creator, then the higher chances that they would definitely love the product that they do promote. So so influencer selection is definitely very important, and we pay a lot of attention at preparing the best media plan with all the benchmarks and the anticipated results as possible, because we need to somehow to show what the client would eventually get after launching influencers in this market, because how many impressions, how many views they will get, how many, for example, installs they will get. So if coming back to your question, about lip gloss, okay, if we speak about German market and lip gloss, and I don't know, for example, how many influencers there should be in this campaign. Well, let's say not about in the number of influencers, but in the budget. I think that it's because obviously there can be different sizes of influencers, and I think, and the thing that we need to have the views, and there can be some big influences, small influences, but eventually I would think that we should spend in Germany. It's quite an expensive market, so we need to spend, I believe, not less than 20K, not less, for the first campaign. And definitely you shouldn't spend all this money on some big influencer, because you need to, it's the first campaign, you need to test what kind of influencers will perform better. Obviously some of them would perform worse. And as the test, you need to have like a good mixture of different categories, of different sizes of influencers, smaller, middle size. I won't advise running at first with some, macro influencers, with some, super expensive ones. Obviously, I think it's not that good strategy to do during the first launch. So a good mix of middle-sized influencers plus maybe some niche micro influencers who are very suitable for the campaign. And then it's really important to have to measure the results. Obviously, we we are super performance oriented agency, and we always measure the results. So we do have the tracking links. We do have QR codes, for example, together with the tracking links, when we promote, mobile applications or mobile games, etc., etc. So yeah, we do track the results of each and every influencer, and we do measure the results because eventually we need to make a very, very good analysis of the results, the report of the results, because based on the results, we'll build our further strategy.
Yeah.
We definitely compare how this and that category, what kind of category performed better, whether, for example, family or lifestyle influences, if we speak about lip gloss, or beauty influences perform better. And our second campaign would definitely be, it would consist of, for example, categories, 60% of categories that performed really great, and then 40% of categories, new ones, because we always need to test, because we need to test in order to find as many well-performing categories and influences as possible. And then eventually next launches, they would consist of only well-performing categories. So yeah, this is the strategy. Plus, we shouldn't forget that influences, we shouldn't measure and evaluate influencers' performance just, the campaign is finished, that's it, it's closed, okay, let's measure. I believe it's not correct, because obviously, together with the traffic that comes via influencers or links, there's also some organic traffic that also comes. And yeah, it's not, and we should definitely count it as well, because it came thanks to the influencers as well. Somebody saw the ads, scrolled the feed or watched the video. They didn't go via the tracking links. Okay, they went to the store or to the website, whatever, and they, installed the game or bought the lip gloss, anything. So this organic traffic is really important, and we should count it as well, because it is, as I said, it came thanks to the influencers. Plus, if we speak about YouTube, for example, one of my favorite platforms, it has a very, very nice tendency of delayed performance, because, for example, okay, the campaign is finished. We wait for example, 2 weeks till the views, and the videos will get their views, and then we analyze the performance. But then, according to our analysis, the video on the channel lives forever. And obviously, the views come in later and the clicks come later. And this is, again, this is the benefit that comes from the video, that comes from the influencer after the campaign is finished, actually. According to our, again, experience, we see that after 6 months of the campaign, there are like plus 30% of traffic coming at the tracker link. So this kind of delayed performance is also the great benefit for this traffic source. So really nice, and thorough measurement is also one of the key factors to analyze the performance of influencers in the correct way, and to make your campaign, profitable and fruitful in each and every geo.
That's a good, I think that it's a solid strategy, what you've outlined, from being able to launch a product internationally. It's important to not only adhere to the language, understand what the culture is, what the culture of the country, if you're going specifics to country, is going to do. And then when it comes to actually figuring out the number, it's the number of influencers to activate. It sounds like it's less about the numbers and more about what your ultimate goal is and what your budget is. And you did recommend, especially for a product launch, to start with 20K, but not invest that entire 20K into like one influencer, right? Like, which is spot on. I think you have to be able to spread that budget to identify what's working and then double down on what's working. But more importantly, it's also understanding the performance and really doing a good thorough analysis after you've launched that. And also understanding that that window of analysis isn't right directly after the campaign. There are some delayed benefits to what you're leveraging. And I think that what you're describing as far as, taking a look at the organic traffic that it's bringing in, and if traffic that is bringing in from other areas to your e-com site, to your social, that's all influenced, ironically, by influencers. I think you've done such a great job at just giving us like a full strategy. I can't thank you enough. I do have one final question for you. And that is, if you knew then what you know now, what is the marketing advice that you give to yourself?
I would again advise to myself and all the girls and boys that are going to study Korean influencer marketing is to be curious, to be open-minded, to be open to all the new information that are coming through different sources. Because as I said, it is very, very dynamic industry. And you can't be slow there. You should react very quickly on everything that happens in it. As I said, new platforms, new formats, new mechanics, some new creative ideas. You always have to stand out, and you shouldn't just dug into some usual thing, the stuff that you do and keep on doing it. No, you need always to be, open, and you need to test everything new. Okay, for example, um, some some people are doing animated widgets on Twitch. Okay, that's a cool idea. Let's try. Let's have a look how to do it. Or for example, some new formats are appearing. Okay, YouTube Shorts or Reels, whatever. Well, they're not new now, but they were doing news. Yeah. So okay, let's try. Just don't be afraid to discover new things there, because it will help you to, as I said, to stand out, to be as dynamic as the industry itself.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and sharing your knowledge. I appreciate it so much. And I know that our listeners really took away some really great nuggets on like what they can do for their future product launches. So thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, my friends, I know that influencer marketing is such a hot topic. It's known in the space as influencer marketing, is content creation, it's ambassadorship, it's got many names. So today we were very focused on the influencer part, and I'm really fascinated with, leveraging it for extending your global reach. And obviously that means being international. Now I won't get too deep into that. I want to dive right into my key takeaways from this episode. First key takeaway: cultivate connections. Now, influencer marketing continues to evolve, but what doesn't change is really this need for connections and genuine connections. It's all about like building these real connections with influencers. That's what I mean by like those connections, right? Now, Dasha made it really crystal clear. Personal, honest communication is key. When you treat influencers with respect and openness, it sets the stage for collaborations that really kind of click. Here's the kicker: it's not about making your campaigns better. By choosing the right influencers for your brand, you're not just getting better content and deals, you're gaining a true partner. It's like having an extra member on your team, someone who's just as invested in your brand success as you are. And what kind of partnership is the best partnership? It's one where they are just as invested as you are. It's priceless. Key takeaway number 2: be strategic with your international strategies. It's really what I was focused on getting at for this episode. Now, here's the deal. With launching products internationally through influencers, it's not as simple as just hitting send on a campaign and calling it a day. Dasha broke it down for us. You've got to really get into the nitty gritty of each local market. That means understanding the language, sure. That seems obvious, but it is also about digging deep into the culture of the region. And that's where those just authentic and genuine connections we talked about earlier really come into play. Think about it. When you're trying to reach audiences halfway around the world, you need someone who really gets them. That's where influencers in those regions become your secret weapon. They're not just speaking the language, they are living it. So when they talk to you about your brand, it's like hearing it from a trusted friend, not just a random ad. Here's the catch. Finding the right influencers internationally, it takes time. It's not just about the numbers, it's about finding someone who vibes with your brand on a deeper level. It's a bit like dating. I know, you're probably chuckling to yourself when I say that, right? You've got to find the perfect match, right? And once you do, well, the sky's the limit. I'm not saying that we're going to get married. I'm just saying. All right, let's get to number 3 before I go down the rabbit hole of dating analogies and marketing, because I do have thoughts on that. Key takeaway number 3, flexibility and adaptability. All right, let's talk about rolling with the punches in influencer marketing game. It's like this, things change, trends shift, and you've got to be ready to move with the flow. She's all about staying open to new ideas, being willing to switch gears when needed, and just generally being flexible in your approach. And I really liked that Dasha said that, because let's face it, in this fast paced kind of digital world, if you're not adaptable, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be left, in essence, in the dust. So, how do we do it? It's about keeping your fingers on the pulse, staying alert to what's happening in the world, and really being quick to jump on opportunities as they arise. Think of it as surfing the waves of change. You've got to be ready to ride whatever comes your way. And here's the thing, when we embrace flexibility, we're not just surviving, we're thriving. We're able to pivot our strategies, capitalize on new trends, and stay ahead of the curve. So let's make it like a rubber band and stretch ourselves to embrace just kind of this ever changing nature of influencer marketing. Now, in order to be adaptable, though, this is also my additional hot take. In order to be adaptable, you have to have enough process and workflow in place so that you can be reactive. Marketing in general is this interesting balance. It's an interesting dance of being proactive and reactive. There's so much you can do to be proactive. There's a flywheel that you can create so that you can adapt, so that you can be flexible, so that you can be reactive. Now, what were the nuggets you walked away with? Share them in a review on Apple or reach out via LinkedIn. A big thank you to my podcast producers, content allies, and thank you for spending your time with me today. Until next time, may the conversation flow, the laughter linger, and the outlook remain optimistic but grounded in reality. This is Katya signing off.